Welcome to the Angel of Death.
I hate that fits. I think he made a mistake because he just said well done.
But because he just mentioned hate.
Basically. The other betrayal that we were talking about with Jacques was Casey killing him in the first place.
That was the biggest betrayal.
Welcome to the most zesty podcast.
Zesty.
In the world.
I'll take it. I'm approving this
means?
one.
You know what zesty means in the real world?
In the real world?
Yeah. Urban Dictionary. Urban Dictionary.
Urban Dictionary?
Yeah.
Am I gonna get in trouble for that?
No, just Urban Dictionary. What zesty means.
I'm sorry, but the fact that you're like in the real world, do you know what it means?
Yeah. Well,
Flavorful or tangy? Oh, that's the traditional.
Yeah.
You gotta look at its slang meaning.
I looked at Urban Dictionary.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're gonna go with the lively and energetic.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Zest and fun
technically, it's just jalapeno pepper slices. But the way that Urban Dictionary describes it is hilarious because they call them nasty. A non-good word, nasty A, canned jalapeno pepper slices.
Well, not just that, but zesty is like a little bit gay. That's you're acting a little
it
zesty.
says effeminate, flamboyant, gay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So when someone tells you, "Hey, Jeremiah, you're a little zesty today,"
Oh, that's the slang term.
Yeah,
That's different.
Yeah, that's why I said you got to look at the slang
the
term.
slang term. A man or boy who is acting or dressing in a stereotypically feminine way. We used to just call that metro.
Yeah, but we are. This is the most zest. I'm
sorry.
Fine.
We don't use basic terms anymore.
I don't like zesty anymore. I don't approve of zesty anymore.
We gotta make it work.
We're gonna clip that part. Yes, I did when he said, "Yeah, we'll take that."
By the way, the first line, the first sentence, and we've said something to get canceled.
I know exactly. Anyway, my name is AJ.
Oh, Jay.
Ace.
Welcome.
As you notice, Wakka is not here. He went somewhere. You will see his face on the screen, but he's not gonna be in here with us.
He won't be saying much.
He's just coming back. It's not. He didn't die. He's still alive. We're not dead.
He went to go visit Westport.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much. Yeah, it pretty much is. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Good. That was good. I love that. Anyway,
Thank you.
He needs to get some selfies down there.
All right. This is We're Not Dead podcast. If you're listening to the podcast, just so you know, we have a YouTube channel. It's called Mike Smith and Mayhem. Just go look up Mike Smith and Mayhem on YouTube and you will find our faces. And you get to see us, you get to have fun with us. If this is your first time listening to this episode and you haven't listened to the podcast or We're Alive, please go listen to that because this episode has full of spoilers. And don't worry, we're still going to be here and we're going to have a lot of fun.
Week after week after week.
We are in the we're in the last chapter of this season.
So not next week.
This is the last chapter of
So
this.
we'll be here week after week, and then that's pretty much it.
That's about it.
And then we'll take a pause.
We'll take a pause.
But we are in chapter 17. And this is a very interesting. I love this title, by the way, Casey. This is an amazing title. Dinner with the devil, right?
Was that what it was?
Dining with the
Dining
devil.
with the devil.
Yeah,
Dining with the devil.
That's
Bro.
that was really good.
This episode has me on an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
This is one of the setup episodes
Hold
where
on.
it's all.
Some might say it's a train wreck.
Stop
Go
it.
ahead.
These words you speak, stop them.
Go ahead, sorry.
But this being a setup episode means like we're gonna get a lot of information, and while a lot's happening from the information, nothing's really happens in this episode.
Yeah.
Except for the ending. Like nothing really happens, but there's a lot of setup, meaning that stuff's about to go down.
Well, there's a lot of a lot of information,
A lot of
lore,
information. Yes.
confirmations.
Action-y episodes, like they make you like they'll give you like kind of the emotional roller coaster where it's like, oh, this happening and oh, this is happening. But in this one, it's like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Like so much of it, and it's so good and so brutal at the same time. I'm literally loving every second of this episode.
Yeah, it was good. I loved it. Also, we'll get to it later, but
So many.
what we settled on last week, we thought one thing.
Yes.
Then we settled on the opposite.
Yes.
And this just blew that completely open.
But we have some confirmation. Like Ace, you're gonna get a lot of props in this because of the things that you said. I mean, we already expect the things that I said. It's just crazy and it's never gonna happen. But I'm still gonna say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, this was.
I mean, even if some of it doesn't happen, it makes us think.
Yeah.
And start pulling at the threads, like where's the realistic like pieces of this,
right?
And it makes us pull.
Absolutely. So it is a lot of confirmation that was mentioned in here, and it's definitely helpful. And then till we get to the last part, which is amazing. I love that. I mean, it's not big. It's not as big as Angel Sr. information, but it's still, it's still an information, like a huge information.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
I'll agree to that, but man, it's up there.
It's up there for sure.
That little bomb drop at the very end, it's up there.
Yeah.
Because that we'll get into that. We'll get into that. I don't want to say too much to that until we're there.
Right. Now we continue the episode from the previous episode. Angel Sr. introduced himself.
Angel Sr.?
What, is she deaf too? That's what I said.
You're Angel's dad.
Was. Well, what do you know about him?
Not much. Just recognize the name.
Uh-huh.
Look, we'll have plenty of time for this later. Vera, I think you've done enough for one day. Vincent, you should head to the infirmary.
I said I'm fine.
Yeah, you should rethink that. You never know where this one's been.
Excuse me?
Tenudo, I know you've come a long way. Been on the road for quite some time, right? Why don't you head down to the kitchen? I'm sure Chef will be happy to see you're back and make you something special.
Oh, look. He's trying to get rid of me, huh?
Let me take care of this.
Oh, will you now?
And Vera mentioned that she recognized his name from the story, the name Angel. I'm assuming Angel Sr. I'm sorry, that's what I'm assuming. Angel Sr. emphasized that he was Angel's dad. This is interesting the way he said this. Because he said, so you're Angel's dad. And he said, was. Now, that could be taken multiple ways. And in my head, it could be taken two ways. That's probably the other way. But the first one is, now this could be from the fact that he is dead. So that's why he said was. And also the fact that Angel disowned the family, including his own family. That's why he said was.
That's the side I lean on more.
Really? Yeah. I looked at it purely as him being dead.
Gotcha.
Because while he walked away from the family, I mean that.
Yeah.
There's the family, the structure, and then there's family.
Right.
The family structure, and so
from how he sounds like the guy that goes after the family members that turn. And it seems like he was almost gearing up to go after Angel Jr., but Angel didn't quite hit that border. Like, he was standing on the border of when somebody will go after him.
Yeah.
He never crossed the line, but man, he was there. And
gotcha.
Well, he doesn't just go after them. It wasn't about he didn't go after people who just left the family.
Yeah.
He went after people who were actively
the people that betrayed them.
Well, betrayed them, but also were killing family members also.
Killing family members, threatening to expose the family.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it was
Yes.
a lot more.
Yes. But that's what I mean
him.
is like but Angel before, like when you go back and listen to the story Survival, he dances around this a little bit. He never seems like he's gonna outright say it, which obviously he doesn't. But he's weirdly close, like the entire time.
So I landed on the side of about the fact that he was dead.
Yeah.
And mainly because the whole premise between either Vincent or him killing them, either one, whichever one did it, they knew that Angel was dead.
Yeah.
And so that would probably, I feel like that would be a dominating reason to say was his father, as opposed to, because his son's dead, not dead to me. kind of thing.
I'm leaning more what Ace said. It's the was because of the family part, not just because he's dead.
He seems too old school to me. Like he kind of reminds me of like he gives a lot of the vibes, but like the Italian Godfather kind of thing. Like, once you turn away from the family, you're nothing. Like blah 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 blah. Whether that's what it's gonna turn into is completely different. But that's just like the thought process and the vibe that he gives to me, and so that's where my expectation for his direction to go. We'll see if that has any kind of ground whatsoever, but
maybe.
Yeah, that was definitely because even Oliver mentioned that, you know, he's the angel of death and he's this and he's that. He's like stick to the books and kind of situation. So that's where
No.
why
He didn't say he stick to the books.
No. The vibe that was getting from the way Oliver was explaining or describing him.
Well, Oliver actually made a statement that they're not exactly rule followers. Like they said something about the fact that what was it? Something to do.
I think they're more rule followers of potentially the old school things, as to where Oliver might be not welcoming, but closer to welcoming like new terms.
Well, that may be true.
Ideals.
And I'm trying to remember exactly what the statement was, but Oliver made a statement that basically summed up as they only follow certain rules.
Yeah.
Basically, the ones that serve them best.
Right.
And so it implied that they are not rule followers.
You know, which is funny to think about. If that is the case with Angel Sr., the way he said it, like more of an old school thing, it'll be interesting to. Sorry, I didn't mean to spit. It'll be interesting to see the dynamic between Angel Sr. and Vincent. Because if that's the case, Vincent would have like a little bit of like rebellion against Angel Sr. So we might think that Vincent is pro Angel Sr., but little did we know he's against Angel Sr. all along.
I don't see that.
It kind of makes Angel Jr.'s character make more sense too, meeting Angel Sr. Because he seems like you're saying, like the rebellious one, like he wants to be so far away from Angel Sr.
Yeah.
And like his mannerisms, his personality, he's like I will not be my dad kind of character.
Yeah, right. 100%.
But like in certain moments, it really slips out, especially earlier in the story.
Yeah.
When he tries to have more power.
Right. Yes.
Through his position, not necessarily his work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so it's making some of that character make more sense and stand out. I'm really enjoying it.
That is so interesting too, because if you think about it, that is what happened with Oliver and Angel Sr. with what happened with Angel Jr. and Michael. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like Angel Sr. positionally is higher than Oliver, you know, but he disappeared and he's gone. Now it's Oliver, and now he comes with the story survival. Positionally, it's Angel Jr. higher than Michael, but because he like freaked out and he can't control his composure, now Michael had to step up. It's like the whole thing is parallel between the two of them and what had happened with their own characters. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like it's really cool seeing some of the workings of the family, and it's also cool finding out the for sure reason on how Oliver became the
patriarch.
Yeah, patriarch.
Yeah, that he wasn't supposed to.
That was really cool. Yeah, he was technically second in line, but then they're like, first in line's not here. We need someone.
Right.
It's you.
Right.
And they're like, it's already said and done. Oh, the Angel of Death is back. Bummer, man.
Yeah, we can't take that back. No more take backs.
Yeah, it's like everything has been decided. Sorry.
Yeah.
So that just because we kind of this kind of leads into the next thing. It's later on. However, I'm curious how long Angel Sr. was gone, because when they're talking about the dinner, which is a little bit later, but this made me think about it right now. When they're talking about the dinner, he says the fact that two leaders of two different families are here at the same time hasn't happened for a long time, and it might draw some local people to come here and kind of catch up. So I would imagine it has been
A long time.
Long time, like at least months.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, possibly even longer since Angel Sr. has been in his house.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that just is kind of that. I don't know. I just found that very interesting.
So so you mentioned this, right? I need to piggyback it. I'm so sorry because I put it in my notes that since inviting the locals and the patriarch and things like that, what if the head of the Amsel will show up, right? The head of the Amsel will show up, and it is Scratch's mom or dad or whoever that may be.
You mean Claire's mom? Dude.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
By the way, finding out her real name.
Right, exactly.
Bro,
yeah.
broke me. I was like...
yeah, so Scratch's mom will show up, and there's a huge dynamic between the two of them, between all three of them, and things like that. That's what like... Not because now we know who the two head of the family.
Two heads.
And now
2 heads of the 3 families that are left.
And now we're just waiting for the third one.
There might still be a fourth with the Dawsons.
With the Dawson, yeah.
Because there might still be some Dawsons, but they're not a part of the family.
Yeah. But they're not going to be in the dinner. That's for sure.
True. But...
So and how was that if that Amsel head shows up and how she related to the board and all that? It's like so many doors are starting to build up.
Yeah. My mentality is breaking from this episode.
How?
Right.
Because it's just the whole episode is just doors opening.
Right.
You're saying. Like it's just opportunities happening, and we're like, what way is this about to go?
Right.
I'm losing it.
Yeah. Sorry, I misspoke. Not Boar. Mera. That's what I meant. Mera, because Mera is the Amsel, not Boar. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Angel Sr. insulted the katana that Vera used to cut Vincent. He told Vincent to rethink not going to the infirmary because Oliver told him go to the infirmary. Vincent said, no, I don't need to. And Angel Sr. said, you need to rethink not going to the infirmary. You never know where that sword had been. And I was like, which is funny because yes, that katana had been through a lot, like a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's right. You probably should because the last main thing that katana was used is against ink. Like, come on, bro. There's some ink DNA in that. I mean, Nekoma cleaned it for sure, and Vera cleaned it in the arena.
Almost 2 decades.
yeah. But still, it's like, that katana got through a lot for sure. Now Oliver interrupted just after Vera said, "Excuse me." Angel Sr. He mentioned that Angel Sr. had been gone and had been traveling, and I wrote, have been traveling. This is like the way of Casey teasing, poking us. It's like, hey, remember your thought about Angel Sr. killing Michael? He did this all throughout this whole conversation when Vera was talking to Oliver. I was like, all of our questions from the previous podcast is getting answered in this episode. It's amazing.
A lot of them, yeah.
A lot of them. Now Angel Sr.
An absurd amount of that.
So because it felt like Angel Sr. was mocking Vera. Can you say that again and things like that? Oliver said that he has hard of hearing because of the gunshots. And I wrote in my notes, I said, Angel Sr. and Bert, that would be a blast.
Yo.
Angel Sr. and Bert together.
2 iconic voices.
I know, exactly.
The epic like final showdown is that just them.
Yeah. Now they said they're gonna have a family dinner. We talked about this a little bit, and how much you want to bet that dinner is gonna be a disaster? How likely do you think that dinner is gonna be explosive?
I think it's gonna get to a situation where it's about to be a disaster, and then something like distracts.
Yes,
that's good. I like that. That.
I think it's gonna build up the tension, and then there's going to be. My assumption would be some kind of an attack.
Right. I think Vera won't be able to control herself. She would start speaking, or she'll find an information regarding Michael's killing and things like that, and she will blow up and she will reveal the secret that Vera and Oliver is having and things like that, and it's gonna be chaotic.
I could see that.
I could definitely see that because she's gonna be sitting right next to Angel Sr.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. We know for sure she's not gonna control herself. Now, Vincent complained to Oliver for not letting him know that he was coming. This is awesome. Oliver rebutted, "You couldn't have warned me. You couldn't have warned me he was here." Oliver said, wait, what did he say? Sounds to me that they weren't together before this whole thing. He said that, "Why would I ever do that?" And then Vera told Oliver, "Why didn't you tell me this?" And no, not Oliver, Vincent. And then Vincent said the same thing. "Why would I ever tell you that?" Or something like that.
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, he used the
I
same
didn't even
thing
catch that.
Oliver told him. Yeah. So the way Vincent told Oliver that, "Why didn't you tell me about this?" To me, at least to me, it sounds to me that they weren't together before this whole thing. That's just to me. That's just the impression that I got. Because remember last time, I made an assumption that that Angel Sr. and Vincent were together and they had separate tasks to do. Vincent has to go to a different place and then Angel Sr. has to go to a different place.
Yeah.
But by the sound of it, they weren't together.
No, it doesn't sound like they were together because he didn't know that he was coming back. They were both on the East Coast, which like we said, this totally opens it up. There is definitely suspect being thrown at.
Oh my gosh, dude.
At Senior.
Yeah.
So my money's back on Senior.
I will say, for the sake of like not knowing that he was there or whatever, that I don't think that's a strong enough alibi for him, mostly because of the fact that it's like
not knowing who was where.
Not knowing Angel Sr. was back, and like, because here's the thing, like with them having gone, even if they were going together, my mind and my thought process is, okay, they've gone together, they're out to do this mission together, but something happens now. Vincent is way away from Angel Sr., so they're not getting the revenge together anymore.
Well, Michael stated that, or not Michael, Oliver stated that they had separate tasks.
Yeah.
They could have, but they could have also been out there doing stuff together. Like,
I mean, it's possible, but we know they had different tasks.
No. I think they went there together and then split up and do their own tasks.
Okay, yeah. That, I was gonna say, because I was like, I definitely don't think that it was just like they just so happened to be in a semi.
Okay.
Field.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Again, it depends on how long the dad's been gone.
Yeah.
Senior's been gone.
Right. Agreed. Very agreed.
I mean, Vincent was gone for a while also.
Right.
But
and also, by the sound of it, is like what you mentioned before, he's been gone, right? Now, was it coincidental that he went home, or someone told him that, hey, you need to come home?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, who knows?
I think he finished his task, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I think he just finished it.
Gotcha.
Well, I think I think he did Michael in.
Yeah.
I think it was him.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to argue that one right now. In all reality,
yeah,
it is hard to argue.
I'm just really happy that I'd stated that theory last time with barely any evidence, and now it seems
I was with you on that.
You were?
Theory. Oh heck yeah! I was
didn't
like,
think you were.
I was pushing on that theory,
All right.
100%.
Then we got it.
Dude,
We're good.
100%.
The other two,
yeah,
it's a 50-50 right now.
No, even Facebook. Like Facebook in the private chat, a lot of them are like, no, it can't be Angel Sr. because they're using the point that it's hilarious. Like,
so many people thought
Casey,
it wasn't.
Casey knows the future, man. This dude knows the future. He like every single people that commenting to the fact that it might be Angel Sr. saying, no, he's old. There's no way he's old. And then here comes this episode.
Do not underestimate him.
The Angel of Death. Yeah. Casey knows, like, yeah, they're gonna say he's old. There's no way he's able to do that.
Yep.
He can't jump out of the window. And then here I am commenting, like, you can't. Like,
once they said that, like, don't underestimate his age and stuff like that, I was like, well, yeah, I guess that's true, because, you know, he he's someone who's not like he's out of practice. Like you can have a fit 60-year-old be a fit 60-year-old.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, Bert's
also,
like 90 at this point.
He's ancient.
And then like also put into consideration that it's like, well, technically freaking Michael is older too.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, it's probably like a 20-year difference, but someone who is in practice and someone who's out of practice.
Right.
Someone who has surprisingly more experience in combat than the trained soldier who's now rusty.
Yeah, because he retired, so...
We're free to talk in here. The walls of the house have many years, but not my office.
Why? Why didn't you say anything sooner? You knew Vincent had ties to Westport before we were ever called that, but you knew!
He didn't say anything either.
Ugh, I thought we were done with the secrets bullshit!
If you knew he might be connected, it would inform how you interacted with Vincent, and I couldn't have that.
Couldn't have what?
He's as good a liar as his father. He kept so much from you already. Vincent would have been able to read you like a book and keep his cards close. It was better to watch you two unabated.
Why? What are you looking for?
By the way you were interrogating him in there, it seems like you already suspect something.
Oliver suspects Vincent, or at least a family member that had something to do with the killing of Michael. He mentioned this while he was talking to Vera. Oliver said that if this were unsanctioned vendetta for someone high profile like that, whoever did it would be removed from the family. Yeah. How genuine do you guys think Oliver in this situation?
Absolutely. If someone killed someone like that, yeah, they would. I think he would absolutely remove him.
I'm talking about in a way that faking it to blame other people that he is all along behind killing Michael.
What?
Oh, so like really the mastermind being
Oliver.
Being Oliver instead
0%.
Yeah.
I don't think it's him at all.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty low percent, especially because at the end of the day, the only thing that we can be pretty confident in when it comes to the family is Oliver has genuine loyalty to Westport because of CJ.
Okay.
It's one of the only things we can kind of count on right now.
Right.
And he has complete knowledge of Michael not having done anything wrong.
Right. Yeah.
And so it's like, it's one of those things, like he knows that there's absolutely no reason to go for Michael.
Yeah.
Again, could this all be a ploy? Yeah, but with every piece of info we've been given, it seems like there's
no reason to.
Like he said, 0%.
Yeah. There's no reason for him to kill Michael for sure. There's none.
Right.
Yeah.
Like there's no advantage, no gaining, because even if you look at it from Takeover Westport side of things, like it's like he's gonna have to kill the guy, and they have immediately somebody to take his place.
Yeah. It's not
Is
like
he working for the family?
thing.
It's possible, but
right.
As of now, he's not working for the family. I think he is. But...
Yeah. Watch, it turns out he's jealous of Michael.
He absolutely. Wow.
No, in a way that he thinks that Michael and Vera and CJ are having an affair. That's why I killed him. It's a joke. Joke.
You could almost believe that more in like the early or in like the mid part of season 4, maybe. But even then, like it's like the one is somehow, some way having an affair is definitely Saul.
No. Yes.
The only chance.
And I mean, Saul and Victor saw her. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean. If you listen to Story Survival, they saw her. They saw her.
Right.
Now, Oliver also assumed Angel Sr. Vera questioned what y'all. I said y'all. I didn't say we. Y'all were thinking or questioning. Oliver answered that and said, "Never underestimate Angel of Death." That's a pretty good answer. I like that.
I'm sorry, that's such a cold line.
Right.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Such a cold line. I was like, oh.
And then so after that, Vera asks why, why would he do that? And then here comes I said, oh my gosh, I wrote in my notes, I said, oh my gosh, Ace, you're right. The assumption had something to do with the way Story of Survival was written. And, it was published the way that you would think that it was Michael who left Angel at the tower. And that could be used as a vendetta against him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Prior to leaving the colony, I found out the truth. It took some digging through the original journals before CJ had them locked up.
And?
Angel was dying from the effects of the fall, but in the end, he was executed by another family member, Claire Amsel, who went by the alias Scratch. Apparently, there's even video proving it, but I never saw the tape. Around the same time, another member was murdered by her as well, Derai Blackburn.
Finger's dad?
The same.
Have you told anyone? Who else knows?
It would only cause more problems. Infighting between family members. Scratch is dead, so there was no retribution to be made.
But there still is, apparently. Michael died because of it.
I can't change what happened to him, but I can at least try to punish those involved.
I'm proud of that one. I'm proud
that was good.
Because it does, especially if that ends up being the actual truth.
Yeah.
And not just
an assumption.
A quote unquote possibility that has merit.
Right.
But yeah, like that was really cool hearing that very well could be the reason for all of this.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I when you first mentioned that, when you first said that, I thought it was a little shallow to take it that way. And then the more I looked into it, because that's, they make a big deal. Like the family makes a big deal about killing other family members.
Oh yeah.
So it could be shallow in our own perspective, but to them it's like, no, you did that. You know what I mean? So we're gonna have to take care of that.
Yeah, and Story of Survival, the original story, like I said this for the last cast. It's the story is all about perspective. We got the raw perspective. We got the unedited raw perspectives. So once somebody goes through and combs that out, and it sounds like some of the stuff that would have gotten taken away, where it was kind of family information, was more hidden. And so, obviously, they're not going to give the follow-up to Angel if they're trying to hide the family stuff.
Yeah.
And so, which kind of makes me mad at the, if there's an off-script vendetta for this, and that's the reason that Michael's dead, is because they randomly are just like, we're going to make this super intensive assumption with no basis, even though they're a group that is pretty proud of how thorough they are with stuff. And they're just gonna straight up be like, yeah, we're not gonna be thorough with this one.
Right. Yeah, because remember that whole conversation.
You guys talked about that last time.
Yeah, because remember the whole conversation with Vera. It's like, what if you guys are wrong? And then Vincent said, no, we're not. We make sure, or something like that. Paraphrasing. Yeah.
And they're like confident, like, we're not wrong because we do the work.
Yeah.
Well, now we're finding out you do most of the work. Right. Which is not enough.
Yeah. It'll be interesting, especially when we go to Nekoma's scene. I have some thoughts in there in the Nekoma scene. It's we'll talk about it more. Now Oliver knew that Claire Amsel, what a wonderful name, especially for a Scratch character, having a Claire name. It's so ubiquitous. It's like, it doesn't make any sense.
I was like, that name doesn't fit.
No,
what is happening?
Yeah.
Well, Scratch.
And if it fits pre-Scratch era kind of thing.
Oh, gotcha.
Like,
yeah.
I can see her being, growing up a certain way and then flipping into who the character she was.
Right.
Which is pretty incredible. Seeing it that way. So
what was
just knowing her as the psychopath? Like, Claire's like, it don't fit. But I agree with you, Jay. Like, the pre-Scratch, like, it could be like, well, duh, like, that is her. She is like, it's like, because Claire to me is like not a princess name, but a more princessy personality name in a lot of situations.
Yeah.
And so it very well could have been that way, and we just don't see that because we only saw the psycho.
Yeah, the more fitting name would be Karen. Like,
oh
like
my
Karen
gosh,
she's a Karen Amsel.
No.
So Oliver knew that ultimately it was Claire Amsel / Scratch who killed Angel Jr. So I'm glad that that was mentioned in this episode. I'm glad that that was very clarified. It wasn't just mentioned in passing. You know what I mean? And just the fact that he said apparently there's a video, but I didn't get to see that one. It's really good.
I love that piece of information.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It wasn't just, oh, I know. And then how'd you know? I just know. You know what I mean? No, they didn't do that. They gave us the information. He also knew that it was that she killed Durai. So that's another good information that was mentioned in there. Mm-hmm. Now, here's another thing, bro. Oh my gosh. Oliver explained the 5 rings. That was good.
That was cool.
That was really cool.
That was really cool to hear about.
Like so many assumptions about the 5 rings, even on Facebook.
Someone said something along that last time, didn't they? Like said that it was like rings that he
I'm pretty sure it's between Ace and Jay. I think it's between you two who mentioned that it could be a vendetta. I think it mainly. I think you started.
If it was me, I don't remember saying it, but at the same time, I was like, I know we had talked about it. Though.
No, it's more of like a probably, like you mentioned, like I remember this. You mentioned like 3 possibilities, and that's one of the possibilities you said.
Okay, that's possible. Yeah, because I remember like we were talking about it, and like I remember at some point it got brought up, and I was like. Because as soon as he said it, I was like, oh, he said the thing! He said the thing!
Yeah. Because my ridiculous claim was Tenudos has their own family thing and he has his own rings, that kind of thing. But it's just an AJ assumption, but it's okay. I'm okay with that. This statement was crazy. This is like bone chilling, and he definitely deserves the name Angel of Death because of what happened. He said that he had 4 targets in 4 different cities. One night.
Oh my gosh, that was sick.
Gosh.
The build up on his character is so terrifying and so good.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Speaking of which, I'm coming back. Welcome to my podcast, and I'm coming back to my ridiculous thing, connecting events in We're Alive.
All right, time to sit back and relax. Let's see where this goes down the rabbit hole.
Remember my theory about Moses going to the Promised Land? What happened before they went to the Promised Land? The angel of death passed Egypt and killed all the firstborn.
Oh, no.
Welcome to the angel of death.
I hate that fits. I hate that.
I'm sorry.
Casey, why do you give him things? Why do you lay them on a platter for AJ to do? Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry. I had to mention it. When literally last week when he says angel of death, I said, oh my gosh, that's in the Bible. And I didn't mention it because there's no footing, right? Until he said that 4 targets, 4 cities, 1 night. I'm like, yes, that's it. That is the moment.
You're right.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. I'll give you that one. That one is valid.
Thank you for humoring me.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now let's go back to our original content.
Original programming.
Original program. Now, Angel Sr. was next in line. They talked about this. Angel Sr. was next in line to be the patriarch. And I said in here, this makes sense. Remember last episode when we felt like there's an animosity between the two of them, especially coming from Angel Sr. towards Oliver. Knowing this piece of information, it makes so much sense why Angel Sr. seems to be more prideful and seems to be not liking Oliver. He did a great job showing us and making us feel that vibe towards Oliver. For sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Without even like knowing this information, we felt like, oh, he does not like that. He does not like Oliver for sure. Another good statement here that Oliver said. He said that when you go swimming with a shark, you make sure there's no blood in the water. That was talking to Vera. That was good. And and Vera said, "So you're a shark?" "Yeah, but I'm a different kind of shark. I'm more like the order kind of shark, not the man eater." That was good. This part, we see this in the YouTube comment that Casey said when we were mentioning about the Vera and Oliver relationship. How come like they've only seen each other? And it's like, oh, they're vibing already. This kind of like answered this a little bit when Oliver said, "That's my girl," and Vera said, "Well, we're not there yet."
Yeah.
That was good. This is definitely the reaction
that was a good thing because it put things back in perspective.
Yes.
It's like okay. This is actually where we are.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
So they just had that one moment of like a pheromone, not pheromone. What's that term? Like when you
Familial?
feel high? No, when you feel
endorphins.
Yeah, you feel that endorphins are leaving a message to CJ. So now we're in a high moment and we love each other. Yeah. Now we're going back to the real life. Like, no, we're not there yet. I'm sorry. you know.
Yeah. I think Casey confirmed or thanked us at least for making that note that it seemed a little off.
Yeah.
And so
right.
That was kind of appreciated that there was recognition on that. So
he's been doing that to us. You notice that even with the card statement when you said he said, "Oh, I'm glad that information was
received.
It was received well."
Yeah.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah. He gives us credit when we randomly get something correct.
The few times where we catch it.
Yeah. Until he answers me, no.
No, you're wrong on that one.
No, because I said, "Come on, Casey, admit it. You love my jokes." He said, "No." All right, so
about that.
So we ended there. Now we go to Vera going to Nekoma's room, or their room. Nekoma was trying to push Vera to give her some information that she finds out because of the look of. I'm assuming it's because of what Vera looked like when she came in the room.
Yeah.
Nekoma said, "I've been cooped up in here. Wants to know what's going on out there." She even bribed her and said, "Hey, I can give you an information that I know if you tell me something. You know, info to an info." Now Vera broke the ice and asked her where she picked up Vincent. This is cool. This is very cool because how many times have we assumed what happened to Vincent and how he got picked up? And the timeline wise on because in the first season when they woke up, Vincent was already there, and now this makes sense. So Vincent wasn't picked up first. They got picked up first, and then Vincent.
Yeah.
So this is good. Nekoma said that I stopped at the water reservoir to fill up some water west of Westport, and Vincent showed up cleaning his weapons, and then the drill. I shot him with the darts and dragged him, and then we got him. And then Vera filled in Nekoma what had happened. We already know this because that's the same conversation that she had with Oliver.
Mm-hmm.
Told her that they think that Vincent might have an involvement in this, or Angel Sr. with the killing of Michael. Nekoma said, I love this. Nekoma said, "Everyone here has serious daddy issues." If you think about it,
it's true.
It is so true. Even with Nick.
Oh my gosh. He's got 2 daddy issues.
Yeah, it's true. But everyone here has daddy issues. Nekoma said I might be the only one with impartial reason. Now, keep that in mind. The impartial word was brought up twice in this episode. Impartial, this was mentioned again later on. I don't know if there's an importance on that, but it was mentioned twice, so I thought it would be important to say it. Vera said
it's such a powerful word.
It is. It's a powerful, and it reflects the 2 characters who said it. Mm-hmm. Vera said she can't leave, not yet. She has a hard time giving up. To which Nekoma responded, "I can relate." Look at this. Nekoma said, "I can relate." Vera responded with the weird, "Oh." It's like,
Yeah, that seemed a little flirty there, in my opinion.
oh yes, and that was not the only one. That was not the only flirty moment in there.
Yeah.
And this is definitely kind of semi-confirmed on why Nekoma stayed.
Well, I don't know about confirmed, but yeah.
That's why I said semi-confirmed on why, or semi give us a reason
Reinforced.
why. Yep, the reason why she stayed. Vera said they might not be able to leave. Nekoma showed her the secret pathway she found on the wall. And Nekoma told Vera to listen.
Maybe there's another way.
How?
I told you I have news. Check this out. Come over this way. Do you hear that?
Hear what?
Gets real quiet in this room. If you focus, there's a whistle.
So?
Put your hand in this corner. Feel that air coming through here? You feel that?
Maybe.
Something's behind the wood paneling.
Doesn't move at all.
Not yet. But if you pull down the trim and slide it over...
What? There's a passageway?
I know, crazy, right?
Now, this is how I'm picturing this whole thing, right? I'm assuming they put both of their heads on the wall, but they're facing each other. Right?
Okay.
And then this made Nekoma make a weird response. And then this is when she said, something behind the wood paneling. Like while they're listening, they look at each other in the eye, and then Nekoma felt like, oh gosh, I'm super close to you, and I can, like, we're looking eye to eye, so she had to back.
You looked into that a lot.
No, it's true, because that's the way the way she said it, something behind the wood paneling, like it got weird. So she had to change the subject.
I didn't recognize that
kind of situation. Yeah, just by the way she said it. Yeah, because it felt a little intimate because they were whispering to each other. They're trying to listen to the whistle noise. So I feel like it reinforced the idea that she likes Vera.
Okay.
And the reason why she stayed. Yeah. Now Nekoma was about to leave, but Vera wants to stay. Nekoma went into the passageway. Vera said that she trusts Oliver and she's doing this for Nick, because Nick has been through a lot and he deserves to know who killed Michael. Now Nekoma made a plan for her to lay low and finish her challenges. Vera understood, which is funny because if you think about it, this is the same thing that Oliver instructed her to do. Did she follow it? She did not.
Nope.
He told her to lay low, and then she started interrogating Vincent. Vera told her that there's a family party. And this is what I said. I really think crap is about to go down here, and if so, this is like Rest and Recreation 2.0.
But like what?
Rest and Recreation, Story Survival, when they got attacked.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They're having
we
the
started the party.
Yeah, this is Rest and Recreation 2.0.
Please, no, God, no, please.
Yeah, and get attacked by the Dawson. I was like, oh crap. Do you have anything else before we move to Will and Nick in this whole parlay, this whole conversation? Angel Sr, Oliver, Vincent, Vera, Nekoma.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Ace.
I think we went through all the stuff that's happened.
Mm-hmm.
We could probably spend a lot of time going under tones and stuff like that.
Right.
And expectations or even theories coming into next week.
Mm-hmm.
Because half of the episode, especially on the family side, was just set up and mind games.
Yeah.
Like it was all like so much inflection in their words, the way they said this thing or that thing, blah 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 blah. So it's like there's a lot of things that we could go into, but I think we've covered kind of the more like broad and
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we can go back and dive into why Vincent or Angel Sr. killed Michael, but at this
Angel
point it's
Sr..
like Angel Sr. At this point though, it's not. We don't have enough information or clues to assume if they did it or one of them did it.
right.
So we're just making a lot of assumptions.
I actually, here's something thought. I think that at the dinner, Vera may lose control and accuse Vincent of doing it, which is going to cause an issue because I don't think he did, and so I think it'll cause an Angel Sr. to make a statement about it.
Yeah, he will stand up and say, "No, I did it."
Maybe not to that extent, but yeah, something like that. I don't know.
Right.
That's just a thought I had.
Now, what do you think is the possibility that they both didn't do it? Neither of them did it.
I would say 5%.
5%, really?
5%.
That low?
Yeah.
I'd say it's a pretty low chance. We're at the point that we're at now. I'm hoping it was neither of them.
Yeah.
Even if Angel Sr. had something to do with it,
Yeah.
I am very much hoping that he's not the one who did it. And that's kind of I don't know if it's the right word, like phrasing to say, but I think that's like more the romantic in me being like, I don't want him to be the one who did it, especially with how close Angel and Michael got at the end. Like all the way up until his death. Like their chemistry and their characters grew so tight that they were each other's right and left hand.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
and I love that. So it would hurt to a degree to find out, oh, his dad actually is the reason why they're together again.
Yeah.
Because they are dead.
Yeah. Hit him again.
They are not alive.
Yeah.
Hit him again!
Hit him again.
Yes, best line in the entire
Absolutely.
everything.
Absolutely. All right. So let's go to Will and Nick in the train. We went to Will and I said Lake. We went to Will and Nick in the U8 train. I love that they added some detail in here. There's some noise in that transition. It's like a rain or like a sand getting poured and things like that. I couldn't understand what it was. I didn't wear my headphones, so I didn't know what it was. Like the
What
transition.
you might be talking about is it might have just been the railroad tracks.
Oh,
The train on the railroad tracks is what you're talking about. Yeah. That was just a. That's just a train.
Okay. Yeah, I thought something like getting poured or anything like that. I wasn't sure what it was.
Yeah.
So I love that they added this detail where Will saw a huge herd of bison.
Wow, look at all them. So cool. Oh! You're back, finally.
Yeah, had to be thorough, you know?
Check it out. Bison. A giant herd.
Damn. There's so many of them.
I read somewhere that these were almost extinct at some point.
Doesn't look like it now. Even with the infected hunting them, they're thriving out here.
Talking about that.
That's so good. I love that.
Jacques
Say, "Hey, look at
family."
this. A herd of bison. Do you know they're almost extinct? And Nick said, no, they're thriving here. It's so good. That is so good. I love that. We found out that Nick stole some money. He said that, there was an open bag and I saw this whole scene because he said that this is a different form of survival now, right? We gotta survive now.
Yeah.
This whole scene reminds me of Will Smith in MIB3 when he teleported back in time and then he stole the car and then he got pulled over and then he getting profiled by the cop because he's black and he's like back in the day and things like that. So I don't know if he punched the cops or something like that, and he said, you think that I stole this car because I'm black? And then it's like, well, I did steal this car, but not because I'm black. That scene reminds me of this. It's like, no, we need this. We need to survive. And he also explained to. He also
Sorry, I was moving to something else.
He also explained to Will that to make you feel better. I mean, they were being rude to people, so that's why I took their money. That was good.
So yeah, what I was looking at.
Yeah.
Before European colonization.
Yeah.
So the white man.
Yeah.
An estimated 30 to 60 million bison roamed North America.
Oh.
Now, 500,000.
Sheesh. We hunted them. That
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, we destroyed them. A large portion, around 400,000, are raised for meat and other products.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
4/5 of that is commercial bison. 20,000 for
bison meat is pretty good.
It is conservation. 15,000 roam freely on public lands in some tribal areas, and then National Yellowstone has about 5,000 bison.
Wow.
Yeah, down from 30 to 60 million. Gosh.
Sheesh. Wow. That's crazy. Well, now they're thriving. And we're
Well,
alive.
and we're alive. They are.
Yeah. All right. Now, of course, I said in here, of course, Will found something to read because it's Will, you know.
What's this? What'd you find?
United American Times.
UA's newspaper.
Apparently. The stories in here are fascinating. So many places and events I've never heard of. So much information all in one space. And they make one weekly.
They sat down at the table to order something, and then the server showed up. I said in my notes, server sounds like Hope. She had some inflections like, oh, it sounded like Hope.
It did sound like her.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm curious if it was.
No, it's not.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no, I looked it up.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's like the man who never stops doing research. Of course he looked it up.
Yeah.
I looked it up. It's not. Now we find out that they're going to Justice, which is the new El Paso, Texas.
It's a long way from where they were picked up.
Well, it's 2 days, more than 2 days of travel. By train. So it's a long way.
In context, from here to Chicago, I think is 8 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
yep. That is a long way.
Yeah, it's a long way. Did I don't know if I'm thinking of something else, but did something happen with Shreveport?
Who?
Shreveport.
I don't know what that is.
Where was that at? I don't remember. For some reason that name stood out to me for something, but I don't remember. So, never mind.
All right. Will mentioned that this is an extension of the Republic. Nick assumed that it was related to the Westport train attack. He did not know. He still believed that it was. He didn't know that was Prim who attacked the train, because in the first Descendants it was Walrus team who attacked the train. That's how they got Grant, which is still kind of like making sense on Prim trying to, what is that? Prey on?
Manipulate.
Yeah, against each other.
They're trying to make it seem like the Republic or the UA.
Yep, or either one.
Yeah, one of them is
attacking.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be a UA attack, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So
no, Republic.
No, it was supposed to be Republic.
Republic, yeah.
So what I think our thought was that the UA was having Prim attack so that it looked like the Republic was doing it.
Or it's the Boar. It's just the Boar doing it, like
that could be.
All along. Yeah.
I would put money on the UA, which is also why they wouldn't have reported on it, because.
Well, we actually think I don't remember, but
I don't know.
Confirm it to me. I think we think that Republic is the bad people, right?
Well, UA Republic.
Well, more. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think we're leaning more toward the Republic.
Yeah. Because they're the ones supplying all the dead bodies. They're the one who's taking the slaves and all that. So I think we're leaning more into that. Nick is charming. Nick charmed his way out of everything. He's like,
you decide what you'll be having?
Yeah, we'll have the soup. But is there any way that you might be able to bring like an extra bowl?
Really?
We're stretched a little thin. That's why we have to travel so far for work. I mean, you understand.
You know what? There's plenty of soup left. Wouldn't take much to fill an extra bowl.
Wait, are you serious? Thanks so much. That really helps out.
I'll be right back.
He's got some riz.
He got some riz. That's right.
I was dying. That was so funny, dude. I was like, come on, man.
He got 2 soups for the price of 1 vegetable soup. They made a origin. I said origin. They made an origin story of their characters. They said that they came from Hager, which is old Mississippi. They also mentioned about people coming from Jackson, and that's why there's a lot of people needing a job, in the Republic. Now, while they were talking,
they did very good with their story.
Yes, well, it's Will. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's so funny because all he knows are stories. He doesn't know practical use for some of this stuff, unless he's heard stuff from the Boar and them. But he's showing a lot of smarts and abilities.
Yeah.
Everything you could possibly want from someone in this stuff.
No, 100%. Because when Nick said, "What do you think is my background?" or something like that. And yeah, I know. And Will said, "Well, it's probably not different than what you did in Westport, so you can say that." You know what I mean? It's like, oh, dude, absolutely. Will be a great DM. Imagine Will as your DM.
The amount of information he has.
The amount of information he has, dude. He'll be a phenomenal DM. Now, while they were talking, you can hear a little commotion in the background. He mentioned about the red tag, and it symbolizes that there's a VIP there. And Will said something like that. And then this made Will start freaking out because the important individual group of people is heading towards them. You can hear Will freaking out. It's hilarious. The special someone was near them, sat down near them, and he invited them, right? He invited Nick and Will to sit at the table. Yeah. You can hear it's so awesome. You can hear the leather seat when they sat down. It's so cool.
Casey doing all this Foley stuff.
Yes.
It's been making me geek out so much.
Wait, what's
for no
Foley?
Reason at all. It's been Foley? So cool to just listen and watch him do it because he's been posting so much on it too.
Yeah,
he's been showing it all off.
Wait,
it's so cool.
What are you talking about?
No,
Foley.
Yeah, Foley. In the whole.
So
the whole
Foley,
thing of it.
Foley is making the sounds and all that stuff.
Yeah, he didn't have to make the sound of them or of their butt sitting on the couch and sliding and squeezing the cushion of the leather seat, but he made it.
Oh,
so he made that sound.
Okay.
Yeah. So Foley work, what it is it is all the sound effects that you hear.
I see what you're talking about.
It is him literally setting up mics to record these sounds and then doing actions to create the sound he wants.
Yeah, I follow.
That's all it is.
Right,
I can imagine him as when you're producing music, it's like, all right, I hear that there's something missing. We gotta add something in there, or we gotta add the sitting down on the leather seat cushion to imagine that that's what's happening, and he did a great job. I feel like I'm with them and I'm seeing them sitting there, on the leather couch. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's just so cool to see, to listen to what he's doing and see it work and all that crap. It is insane.
It is. It's unbelievable. Yeah, and also to know that there's something missing in here, instead of just, all right, we portrayed the information that we have to make, let's move on. Nope, it's like there's something, we gotta add something more, because I don't know, man. I don't know. That's in his mind. He's like, I'm gonna add this. I'm gonna add this. I'm gonna add this. I'm gonna add this. It has to be this. You know what I mean? Instead of what else?
Yeah.
He asked them what they were eating, and he said, "I have vegetable soup." And some we're looking forward to this. It's like, have you had it? It's like, no, but it smelled good, which is funny because Will is the one who said that it smelled good, and Nick didn't say that.
Yeah. Well, what's great
When
is
they
he's
had
like,
it.
that's when it tastes its worst.
Yeah. What can we get you? When he said, give them a fillet, or
Yeah, he
is it
said
fillet
filet.
or filet mignon?
He just said filet.
Yeah,
Filet.
filet mignon.
That-
No,
But
he said
he means
filet
filet
mignon.
mignon.
Yeah.
I thought he straight up said filet mignon, but
No, he
either
just
way.
said a filet.
Yeah. And then he said they have a good steak in here. By the sound of the way Nick and Will responded, I know probably Will never had steak before.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They've never had steak.
They've never had steak.
I don't think either of them have ever had steak.
Yeah. Which
That's
is,
a
I
good
mean, I'm
point,
not
actually.
surprised. I'm not surprised if they haven't had steak.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Yeah, it's one of those like, yeah, it makes sense, but
Uh-huh.
it's not something that you just think about.
Right. Because even Nick's like, I usually have whatever you're having, whatever the way you make it. Yeah. And then he said that medium steak, good choice or smart choice. Yep.
Yeah. Well, because he
What's
said I'll have
your
it the same way.
guys' how do you like your steak?
Like a man?
Rare?
No, medium rare.
Oh, okay, medium rare. How about you, Ace?
I always ask for it medium, but that's because most of the time they end up cooking it closer to medium rare.
Oh, gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah.
Like most people don't actually cook it medium, no matter how much I'm
Yeah.
like medium.
Right.
So, Blake and I went to Texas Roadhouse with Anthony one time, and Blake and we order ribeye, medium rare. Anthony orders his well done, and we literally stuck our hand up to the server and we're like, hang on a second. And we look at it. Do you know what you just did? Like we're like, I don't think he knows what he just ordered. He's like, no, I know. And he actually denies it to this day, but like I vividly remember stopping the server and saying, I think he made a mistake because he just said well done.
But because he just mentioned a hate crime. And
Basically. You know what? Just bring him out a hamburger.
He didn't mean your steak well done. He's telling you that you're doing a great job.
Exactly.
Well done.
He must have misspoke because there's no way self-respecting man's gonna get a well done steak. Like
that's good. I used to be a medium guy, and then I started the medium rare.
Okay.
And I started liking it, so I went with medium rare. Casey, how do you like your steak? Rare, raw. I want it raw.
What do they call that?
I want it straight out of the pack.
They call that blue raw.
Yeah,
I believe.
blue raw.
Yeah, where you
Yep.
basically throw it on the grill long enough to kill the bacteria, and then serve it.
Yep, just like still super red.
Yeah, where you want it still mooing.
Yeah. And then the server said that thank you, Mr. Friedrich. I wrote Friedrich because I don't know how to spell it, but it's Friedrich.
Can't pronounce it either.
Yeah. Shut up. And then we find out that his whole name is Aaron Friedrich.
Why don't you two come over? Have a seat at my table. Save our necks from having to crane over. I'm always interested in the perspective of UA citizens like yourself.
So, hi, Mr. Friedrich?
I'm sorry. I didn't get to introduce myself. Wasn't given the chance. Aaron Friedrich. You can just call me Friedrich.
Frederick.
Okay.
Yeah. And I love this whole thing with Nick and Will. It's like, okay, then who are you?
And that's who?
That's who.
Need a little context here.
Yeah.
The further they were going into this, I was just like melting in my seat. I was like, no. Because I knew that this wasn't gonna be some random guy.
Yeah.
He's too confident to not be someone of importance.
Right. Yeah.
In this story, like
yeah.
if you tried your very best to tell me, yeah, this is just some dude they're gonna meet right now and never see again, I would probably backhand.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah.
No.
I was actually when I heard their voices, I was like, for some reason I'm expecting he's related to Hogs from Westport.
Okay.
That's what I was
Could be
expecting.
something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think so,
I
but
don't think so
like,
either.
it could be the long con.
Yeah. And they met the Chancellor, who's the leader of the Republic.
Yeah.
Who did this?
That
was
was
he
a
the leader of
big
Republic
drop.
or the leader of the UA?
No, Republic.
Oh, okay.
Republic.
Yeah.
They're going to the UA, right?
No, they're going to the Republic.
They're going to the Republic.
Yep, the jobs are in
they're
Republic.
going to
Oh,
the
they
Republic.
came from the UA.
Yep, because the UA train.
Got it. Yeah.
Yep, they're going to the Republic.
Got it.
This is interesting. This is definitely a big revelation, but like I said, it's not as big as
We heard him before,
Angel
though, right?
Sr. Yes,
He was
I
the
was
one on
gonna
the
say that
phone.
he was on the phone with the boar. He said, "Yes, Chancellor."
Asking for the bodies.
Yep. So anyway,
My nerves and my fear, dude. Like my fight or flight, it was going during this.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Right. Yeah.
Like because of like who we know it is, I was like, this dude knows exactly who they are. That's why he's talking to them and why he's interested in them.
Oh,
Yeah.
you think he knows them?
exactly at least who Nick is.
Really?
Really?
I would be surprised if he
Ooh.
wasn't. At
You know
Prim.
what?
Ah.
He wasn't at Prim. Remember, because she called him.
Yeah.
And she was trying to get him to come there, and he wouldn't. And so she had to send the stuff. That's where
Walrus.
Walrus
he
is
could,
doing.
He could have been there toward the beginning. He could have been like he could have left. He could have like, but I am like 80% sure that he knows exactly who he's talking to right now.
I'm curious.
That's an interesting thought. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, I didn't think of that either.
Yep.
Kudos on that one.
That could be a possibility for sure. That's good. I didn't even think I didn't connect that he probably knows him. Yeah.
Mhm, yeah, and that's just one of my that was my big fear there is like the way that Nick quote unquote wooed him and like now he's like, oh, I like you. Like I was like, that was too easy.
Yeah.
And then at the end when he dropped that, I was like, now I know it was too easy.
Well, no, not necessarily. So, and the reason I say that is because he's a politician, right? And that's literally all they do is they schmooze. And so, if he's got people like he's like, hey, it's cool to meet people who don't already know much about me, you know. And so,
but not knowing such a big figure. Like that was like I mean he basically said that it was setting off flags in his head. He's like not to know who I am. Well, who are you?
Yeah.
And he says his title. Okay, and that means and it's like you know literally nothing about over here, but you're saying you're coming here for work and stuff like that. And like
I mean, I think there's some sketch in there, but I don't know if he fully knows who they are and that he's completely being devious in it.
He might not. That's just one of my thoughts right now is that I feel like he probably does.
Yeah, I can see how you say that for sure.
Actually, so considering the thought process that you had, right? Considering your point, what he said when he said that part of me should be lucky to be able to converse with such impartial minds, which, by the way, that's another word for the impartial, the second word, gives a different impact now if that is the case. You know what I mean? So he's definitely like I'm kind of glad, or I'm lucky that you guys don't know me, but I know you. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Like that kind of point.
It'll be interesting to see how that whole thing plays out for sure.
Right.
I agree.
And then he said that you're having lunch. It's not dinner, lunch with the Chancellor. So this is like the two entendre of the dinner with the devil. Dinner with the soon-to-be dinner with Angel Sr. and then the dinner / lunch that they're having with the Chancellor.
And what is it? What'd you call it? What'd you call it?
Dining.
No. Never mind.
Chancellor. Frederick.
Thank you, Ace. You knew what I was doing.
What are you saying?
The double entendre?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get you to say.
Entendre. Yeah. What did I say?
Huh?
How did I say? Did I say it wrong?
I thought so.
No, it's double entendre. Leave me alone.
Oh, you did say that one right, so my bad. It sounded off.
Let's roll the clip.
He said something doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
Rewind.
Let's roll the clip. All right.
I'll eat crow on that one.
Yeah. So we had an assumption on what's gonna happen in the dining, right? In the family dinner.
Yep.
We have a thought on that. I saw on Facebook posts, it might have been Facebook or YouTube, that says, not on our YouTube, so it might be Facebook. No, I think it's Reddit. Anyway, he said that
one of the things.
Right. He said that has any of you considered the fact that Walrus might see Nick and Will?
Yes,
I've thought about whether or not he's on the. Well,
he's going to the Republic.
He went to the Republic.
Yeah, but they're not going to the Republic. They're going to Justice.
Which is in the Republic, though.
It is in the Republic, but I don't think that's where the.
Space.
I think
But
Walrus
because of who they're meeting right now.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm curious.
Yes. That's right. So, do you think Walrus is gonna meet them in the train?
Maybe not in the train.
I think it's possible.
But because I think the Chancellor lives in the capital. I don't think he would be living in Justice. You know what I mean?
He may not be living there.
Unless the train stopped by the capital where the Chancellor is going first before they reach Justice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, which I mean, I think they're going to be going that direction.
Got it. So you think
because
you think they're gonna go to the heart of the Republic and then reach Justice?
Or it might be the other way around, where they would get to Justice and then it would go towards the heart of the Republic. Like it's going inward because it's coming from the UA. So
gotcha.
It could be going deeper and deeper into the territory.
Got it. But yeah, that possibility, he said that. Do you guys think there's a possibility, or the possibility of Walrus seeing Nick and Will, which is highly likely for sure.
Good a possibility.
Good possibility. Yes. What else are we expecting on how this season is gonna end? Oh, sorry. Hold on.
Isn't this the end? Or do we have one more?
We have one more.
We have another
season.
episode.
Yeah. Oh, we have two more.
Two more? I thought this
two or one.
Yeah, I think it's a 3-part. Yeah.
Oh, you're right. We do have two more. Ooh,
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like, yes, my sadness. It's been relieved.
It is week and week.
Yeah. And sorry, let me go back a little bit. Does this help or not help the idea that because even with that, when you said the Chancellor probably knows Nick, so the possibility that Tanya is in the Republic and then the Chancellor knows Nick, that could be there's a connection there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought about that too. Yeah.
But I guess my question is, do you think it helps or not helps the possibility of Tanya being in the Republic?
Well, if the Republic's bad, then I would say Tanya's more likely to be in the UA.
Or the tribe. That's still the high possibility.
And we're honestly all just hoping that Tanya's alive, and she may not be, and we might be just completely let down, just like Delilah.
Yeah. Leave him alone, Casey said.
I know. Sorry.
Yeah,
she was there somewhere.
But even like freaking Casey being silent about this and not telling us, confirming, it's
he
like,
hasn't said anything on Tanya.
No, not even a sliver of like clue. Nothing.
It's been so infuriating.
It is.
Which leads me to believe that she's
he's
alive.
always been good about not like dropping clues and stuff like that, but it's like, every now and then it would be okay to not be good at that.
Yeah. Yeah. But the truth of the matter is, Angel Sr. showed up. You know what I mean? Angel Sr. showed up. So
freaking absurd drop.
Right, exactly. So just the fact that happened, and he was mentioned in Story Survival, right? And then it's like, oh, he's alive all along. A good lift for Tanya being alive.
Yes, a 10-year plug. Would you look at that?
Yeah, exactly.
The long con.
But yeah, I don't think it necessarily helps that Tanya might be in the Republic. I still stand the fact that she's not in the Republic. A lot of people are just assuming that she's in there. Now, the fact that she might be involved in the tribe, in case she's alive, that I believe that. I would believe that 100%. Yeah. Worshipping ink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would believe that.
I don't know. It would be weird. It would be weird to think of Tanya worshipping ink, though. Like, that might just be me, but like, being a part of that tribe, like that's just a little too weird for me.
Right. Well, because I think we talked about this before, that she learned so much about the infected that she believes that, oh, this is the next evolution. Like they're so advanced over us that
we definitely did talk about that, but it's still like, I don't know. It's like almost just too weird.
Right. All right. Before we go to our YouTube, I'm gonna read this Reddit post. You guys ready? It's kind of long, so we're gonna answer here and there based on what this person commented. His name is Dangero2000. It's on Reddit. We posted this there. This person said, I'm going to comment on this as I go along, but I have a podcast player that shows percentages instead of durations. So my comments will be based on what percent of the way through this podcast I go to. Yeah, not timestamp, percentage.
That's very interesting.
I like that.
That's how it goes, yeah.
He said, 6%. I recently read a Reddit comment that states that Casey doesn't do out of nowhere twist because he apparently hates those. I think he made it clear with Will's line to Nick that he will never betray him. So I don't think we'll have to worry about that. Well, unless he gets infected. Anyway, that's what he said. 8%.
That would cause me so much pain.
Right. An infected Will.
Dude, I've been saying since we met him, we need to protect this boy at all costs.
Yep. And it's not just because we want him to be infected, but because that infected Will is a dangerous infected Will.
Oh my gosh, that is a smart infected right there.
Bro, that's a second Randy.
Yeah, exactly. No, we don't want that. We don't want none of that. 8%.
Like, even what we've been equivalating before, it's just a second Tommy.
Yeah.
Because Tommy was smart. Like, he went and ripped out the freaking
cameras thing
for... Well, no, he ripped off the door to increase the fire before he died. Like, okay.
Yep.
There's no place like home.
8%. I really don't think Dean is a bad person. I love this. I don't know why Dean is thinking that he's a bad person. I mean, sure, he kept that family stuff hidden from Nick, but I still think Dean genuinely cares about him. I think a huge part of this story will be Nick having to learn to trust Dean again. Vincent, though, not a good guy. Not a good guy at all. And I am positive that things are going to come to a head with him. Guys got warning signs I can see a mile away. 10%. I don't think they betrayed Jacques. The infected got the poor thing pretty bad, and he would have died anyway. It was for the best that they ended his suffering early.
We still miss him. We still miss him.
I was gonna say, yeah. No, I've never thought that Jacques was betrayed. We've never been on that boat.
Yeah.
We stand with Jacques. Yeah. Everything he did.
Carmen?
Screw her.
I was waiting for it. Gosh, dang it, dude.
I'm sorry. I feel so bad to that voice actor. I feel so bad. I'm sorry. It's not you. It's Carmen.
11%.
It's okay.
11%. Oh, you're talking about Pierce. Nah, that was betrayal for sure. He pushed Carmen down. He was purely responsible for her death. 100%. Scumbag from the start. Yeah. Yeah. I forgot about that. That we were talking about betrayal in the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the biggest betrayal in Scout's Honor for sure.
Yeah.
We were kind of talking about how often or how little.
Yes.
There is straight up betrayal
you said that. Yep.
in.
The
Every
other
series.
betrayal that we were talking about with Jacques was Casey killing him in the first place.
That was the biggest betrayal in Scout's Honor.
You betrayed us, Casey. You betrayed
us. I will not be convinced of otherwise. That was the biggest betrayal.
Speaking of which, he said 26%. This person said 26%. You all have my sense of humor. LOL. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
35%. Realistically, would you survive if you jump off a static tree onto a farm far from static train? Somehow I doubt it. That thing is moving fast.
I think it is possible.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't think they, especially if it's a passenger train like that. It's not like an Amtrak. I think it was just a train that's going by. You know, yeah, I don't. Yeah, if it's taking 14 hours or 2 days to get from where they were at to El Paso, that is a long time. It's only a 14-hour car drive.
Yeah.
So, so it's, train normally takes about twice as long. So the train's going pretty slow, is what it seems like.
Yeah. Unless it like has different routes, but still.
So landing. So I straight up looked it up. So landing on a moving train from a stationary position is extremely dangerous and difficult.
Yeah.
And very impractical, nearly impossible for a human. But it does go into details on how it can be possible. Most of the time it's saying that you want to do it from a moving position, yada, yada, yada. If it's going at specific speeds, it's very possible. So it does come into a question mostly of speed.
Ethan Hunt has done it multiple times, I think.
It's not impossible. Okay.
Actually, it kind of is. It's mission impossible.
38%. I just pieced together the implication here, and this scene is much funnier to me now.
I'm assuming he's talking about when they get caught in the bathroom.
Yep. 40%. LOL. Nick is smooth storyteller here. 42%. I gotta say, this is the longest time we haven't heard from a certain group of people. It's so true. Yeah, Ace mentioned that.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, Story Survival never had gaps this long. Actually, I can think of one that was in season 3 when we followed Saul and Vic for about 3 to 4 chapters. When it switched back to Army Base, it was because something very bad was going down, or rather about to go down. So not only do I think we're due for a switch in chapter 17, I'm sorry, it wasn't. But I also think that bad things are about to happen if Casey follows his typical formula.
So, yeah, and I will say, with that time gap, part of the reason that there was such a big gap is because they were doing big time jumps during season 3.
Yeah.
That was, if I'm not mistaken, those were the biggest time jumps in the entire series.
Right, yeah.
And it literally goes to saying, like, from Michael, like, the reason that, like, here's the date, the reason I've recently decided to start journaling again.
Yeah.
Like, he literally, or following a log again. Like,
right.
He stopped. That's why there was a gap. This is different, though.
Yeah.
Because
there's no time jump in here. It's just a moment of time. Like, it's passing compared to...
But that's the thing, is, like, now there is going to be almost a time jump because it's been, like, a week?
Yeah, but compared to Boulder's longer.
Well, no. I'm not saying, like, we're skipping months or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying we're going from... These people were leaving, let's just say 7 days ago. And now we're going to have to find out what they've been doing for 7 days.
Yeah. Yes.
It didn't take them 7 days to get to Prim.
Yeah.
Especially now that they're in a chopper. Or
they're
in a, like, with the vehicles they've got. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
And so what's happening for these 7 days, difference between Story of Survival and Descendants is... One is being told from perspectives of written stories. So any gaps are because those stories weren't written. This is all supposed to be...
Gotcha. I see what you're saying.
In the way it seems, this is all happening live.
Yeah.
We're hearing from them live. That's why there's less monologuing.
I thought this whole time we're live.
Shut up.
I hate it here. I'm leaving.
Yay! I'm affecting him. We're combined powers like Captain Planet.
Yes.
No,
our dad powers combined.
I got slapped. I'm sorry.
I'm not there to do it.
It's true because we also have. It's not just the OG people, but it's also, Atlas. Granted, it's Atlas. They're there. We finished that whole arc, and now they're in Atlas.
Yeah.
I can see a week getting skipped in the Atlas.
Yes,
because we
100%.
got to the Atlas.
Yeah.
But getting skipped for Riley getting shot.
Yes.
Now remember,
and that's like the end of Descendants 1.
Casey did state that if it goes like 6 episodes without going to someone, it doesn't mean that that's how long it went at the other place. He did say that when we switch between storylines, that it's not the same timeline.
Yeah,
it's just the longer that we wait going back, the more confusing timeline will be.
Right? Yeah,
right, absolutely.
Because now we're getting days and days of actual like up to date. This is what's happening. Your day to day is looking like this. Oh, we're skipping some time and doing a day to day again.
You know what? I just had a thought.
Oh.
What if, like, on the train, they're going to meet up with them somehow?
With who? The OG people?
Yeah. Because they're in a helicopter, right?
Yeah, but they're going back to Westport.
Yeah.
They're going literally the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
So,
oh, wait, you're right. They're already past
They're going to Texas.
Because
they're
Prim
going
is
toward Texas
in Vegas.
versus-
You're right. I'm sorry.
Right. Well,
they're going
Never
Cali versus going to Texas.
Yeah, because
I was thinking from Louisiana.
When they left Prim, the OG going this way, they're going Louisiana. And now they're going to
I just
California,
said I realized that.
I'm sorry. Okay.
My mind was thinking that they were leaving from Louisiana area also.
Yeah.
Everyone was, yeah.
43% good catch. I didn't think of that, but yeah, Vincent had no comment on the whole thing. Well, besides darting Nekoma for revenge. Anyway, maybe he's colluding with the boar in some way, though. Considering how things played out, I kind of doubt it. It's true. I doubt that too. It is possible though because of.
And I feel like. Oh, go ahead.
It is possible though because of him saying he wanted to be there. Why would he want to be there?
I think him saying that was possibly putting on a front.
Mm-hmm.
And also like in his mind, he's like, I'm capable enough and skilled enough to get out of any situation, so I'm not worried. Very Jeremy-esque.
Mm-hmm.
Like you might think, because Jeremy, like in jail, like even going through everything, he's like, I'm skilled enough to get out of this.
Right. 100%.
And he's like, and right now I have all these people, I have all these tools to make sure I get out.
Yep.
Eventually it evolved from that and became more personal, but at the time, he's like, okay, it is what it is. Like, I'm in captivity, I'll get out. Like, my training is basically guaranteed this already.
Yeah.
And so I think that is more along the line of it. Yeah. And he's like, well, at worst case, I got brought closer to Louisiana, and I've got all these vehicles now.
Right. And definitely not colluding with Boar, because Boar threw him in the arena.
Well, and even if the Boar was, because if the Boar knew that he was family and yada yada yada, like the Boar could be extraordinarily confident in a family member, making her hate it.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Like they could be like, hey, like go through this, we'll make bank.
Yeah.
And it could be a situation like that. Don't believe that though.
No.
I don't believe that is the case, especially after this episode.
Right. I don't think they know each other for sure.
I think that this episode nailed any thought of him and the Boar that we even speculated before. Nailed the coffin shut. Like, nope, done, not a chance. I think that everything going on is much more inter-family Tenudo focused right now.
Yeah.
I think the Boar is going to come back as a turned and come back for that purpose later. Yeah. But I think other than that, I think the Boar's story is done. Right. That's been wrapped up.
We also have
over.
that. That's right. We also have that hanging information. But there's no way she's gonna win against Cole, because it's not like she like.
Cole is a stronger ink.
Yeah,
from everything we've heard.
And Cole has a plot armor. Like, no pun intended. Cole has a plot armor. There's no way he'll get killed by Boar.
He's got plot armor until the katana.
Yeah, there's no way. All right, 46%. I don't think it'd be a big twist to say that Tanya is probably still alive. I love that. I mean, we know Casey's writing style, and if you remember back to season 1 of Story Survival, when Angel says, "Did you see him die?" Casey put that in there for a reason. I think it's safe to say that if you didn't witness someone dying, then more likely than not, it didn't happen. The only proof of Tanya's death is that everyone in Story Survival claimed that it happened. Yep, we talked about this multiple times. Yes. We still 55%. We still don't know if the family is in general would have approved of Michael's killing. This episode confirmed it. I still lead with the idea that Vincent did this on his own for his own reasons. 56%. It couldn't have been Senior who did the killing. His health seems to be failing him.
It could have.
What was his old age?
Yeah, I feel like we've all been kicked in the teeth.
Absolutely, 100%. Michael would have been able to at least escape. Plus, when we hear Michael's death for a second time, we can hear grunts from the killer. To me, the grunting sound a lot like Vincent, but the killer was definitely young, 60 to 62%. Oh, sorry, yeah, that's it. But Oliver punched us in the face with this. 60 to 62%. I don't know. It seems possible that the board could have abandoned the family because she wanted more power than they would allow her to have. She could have been Vincent's mom. Okay. After all, we've never seen them interact with each other that much. Perhaps they exchanged from each other. That could be highly complicated situation that they'll expand upon later.
Could be a sister.
Oh, too old.
She's too old.
Too old. There's no Angel Sr. and Boar. No, there's no way.
No?
Yeah, no, too old. 63%. I don't think Casey would put in a red herring like that, but I don't know. I mean, evidence seems to show that he's never truly misled us before, and everything that happened was always going to happen and didn't just come out of midair. I don't know what that part is. Yeah. We're almost done, sorry. 65%. I'm wondering now if Angel Sr. is going to become my favorite character in the series because I love his performance from the beginning. Crap's going to go down with him for sure. 100%. I believe that.
I think he has such a good potential to be the way Darai could have been.
Yes.
Like that mix of Scratch and Darai where he is the feared big bad. Even though, there's 3 factions with 3 leaders.
Mm-hmm.
He really is making the ability to be that third, faction, the second villain on the side. There's a lot of unexplored territory with him right now.
Yeah.
And they're building depth to it. That meme talking about, movie adaptations and books where it's the little glacier above, and then it under it, it's a massive glacier under the water.
It's called an iceberg.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? It's just a little tip, massive under.
Yes. Thinking that's Angel Sr.
Yeah, that's the way that it feels like he's being built right now.
Right. No, for sure. 69%. Alex, nice. Alex and his mother lived in Lake Matthews. That was the second colony CJ helped to set up when they thought the first would fail. Lake Matthews is at Westport territory. We don't know much else besides that. I will say, though, that it seems fitting. Maybe Vincent's task was to gather intel on Lake Matthews, but it gave him an opportunity to get close enough to Michael to kill him without anyone knowing. That might also be the reason it took him so long to get back. Besides the Prim thing, did you hear the way Oliver hummed to himself when he saw Vincent? He knows something's up, but he doesn't know what exactly. Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah. Definitely a suspicion there. 71%. I suspect that Vincent killed Michael in order to instigate a war in Westport and the families, weakening them enough so that he can take power for himself. I mean, we know members aren't beyond that. This could be Vincent and Angel Sr. colluding for sure. If I can see this happening. Yeah.
And the only way that gets full credibility is, I think, if Hogs ended up being that internal piece, because I mean they talk about taking places of power and stuff like that, and being advisors and spies and blah, blah, blah. And so it's like those two are being the spies and the enforcer, while the other is being the the voice, the public figure,
right?
While the whole time he's actually directing and stuff like that, and taking those public steps.
Which makes sense too, because if you put it in a way that what we assume, the Boar is setting up a war and weakening Westport's train, so they kept attacking Westport's train, and now Boar is also part of their family. So you have Boar, Hugs, Vincent, and Angel Sr. all colluding and planning this whole thing to attack Westport and to have a war between the families and Westport. It makes it like that whole thing is clear to me. It's clear to me for sure. 75%. Nah, Latch and Scratch weren't close to Oliver at all, besides being in the families, of course. That wouldn't work. When he was confronting Simeon, he said those two were close to me. They were like my brothers. They were family. He said brothers, plural. Plus, Simeon basically admitted to doing it, and we know that Pegs and Bert killed Latch and Scratch, respectively. 77%. Someone posted a spreadsheet with the whole family tree. I'll have to ask them if they can come in here and post it. It's pretty detailed though. Really solid stuff. Yes, please.
It's pretty detailed though. As though that makes us not want to see it.
Yeah, we want to see it. It doesn't matter.
I was gonna say I'll print out a big poster and put it right on my desk so I can just stare at it all the time.
I'm gonna change the logo of Descendants in the middle to the family tree, just so we have
family
it.
Tree.
We lose Ace for like 3 weeks.
What happened? All right, guys, I have to tell you something.
Remember
it's
that
the freaking aliens meme?
Oh, it's the it's always sunny.
Conspiracy theory meme.
Yeah, it's always sunny. Yeah. It's like this. that meme that
he's got red and blue strings strung across his entire room.
Yeah.
His wife. We'll stop that.
84%. Like I said earlier, I think we're about to see Westport again, and I don't think we're going to like it much. Very bad things are about to go down there.
I agree. Actually, I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see, because I feel like after all this time, something has to have finally happened with Westport, which is the ultimate excuse to bring in the OGs again.
Yep. For sure, I can confidently say this. CJ lost the election. Like, I can confidently say that. Yep.
Yeah. I agree.
Sure
especially with the botched missions back to back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like to start Descendants.
Right.
I think that she was already kind of losing, but had some loyal supporters.
Yeah.
I think that, again, like, this was the crippling piece that's like, you're done. Like,
yeah.
This dude's gonna write everything that you just did.
Right.
He's gonna be the one that's gonna be bringing all that stuff together. Blah 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 blah.
Because we've heard that before.
Yeah, and I mean, just the fact that she mentioned that, when she was talking to Pegs, it's definitely gonna happen. Where was I? Sorry. 91%. I'd imagine Oliver wasn't happy about the idea of having to essentially kick Jody and Bogart to the curb, so I'm sure he's got some animosity towards Senior. It's not hard. Oh, I like that. It's not hard to picture Senior being the patriarch before Oliver. You call this. This is like not before Oliver.
Yeah,
but,
wow.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
But being like
that.
the one in line. Yeah.
Yes, that was good. 97%. I don't know. I'd like to think that Senior was the patriarch and that he passed it down to Oliver. Now, this one is not based on this episode. Through whatever process they used to do that, he definitely gives up patriarch vibes. Yes,
because he was supposed to be.
Which I was gonna say, which it almost makes more sense than what the poster had said.
Yeah,
because it seems very much like until you're old, gray, and dementia is when you're going to start handing down, or when you're not able to start doing your job.
Right.
Like, that's the only time that you'll start handing it down.
Right.
And from what we're hearing, Angel Sr. can still very much do his job.
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah.
And so now hearing that the only reason he didn't get it, he's not the patriarch, is because he went missing. It makes more sense why it's almost like they're still fighting for power.
Right. Yeah. All right, the last one.
And Angel Sr.'s not afraid to let him know it too.
No.
Yeah.
He's like, you might have domain of the family, but this is my house.
Yes.
Like, if he would have handed it down, that wouldn't be there. If he would have actually handed it down and made Oliver the patriarch, I feel like there'd be more respect between them, and it would be less of like, oh, like you're trying to overstep me in my own house. Like I feel like that wouldn't be a thing.
Right. And also,
because it would have been like, you're my chosen guy.
He has the nickname. Oliver doesn't. What does Oliver has? Jeremy.
That's not even a nickname. That's his middle name.
Yeah, it's true. It is true. That is true. That's good.
Busted.
98%. Nah, I think the only reason Michael said an angel is because he didn't get a good look and saw just enough in his face that he fantasized angel as he was losing consciousness. It's entire possibility that none of the Westport people who would have recognized the resemblance were looking at Vincent, and maybe his back was turned to the camera or something.
So I don't think he said an angel. I think he just said angel.
Yeah, he said angel.
Yeah.
Which Casey actually.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, Casey actually mentioned something similar to this, with a question that how come how come Riley didn't recognize Vincent if Vincent and Angel look a lot alike.
Right.
And we're gonna read that later, but yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah. I was just gonna say, like, it's one of those things, like, when like you're like dying, your senses start to kind of go out one by one, and in the fading, if he saw a jawline, a hairline, like he finds one thing that looked like his best friend, like he's gonna be like, oh, connect.
Nah.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think that's what it is. I don't think he was seeing things. That's too much of a mislead.
Do you think though?
Well, no, I don't think it would be a mislead though if it was actually Angel Sr. that did it.
Oh, no, that's not a mislead.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think he actually saw what in his mind was Angel.
Right.
You know,
which
is why
that's what I'm trying to support.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to double down on, because like even if you're seeing Angel 50 years older than what you last saw him.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Like you see those couple similarities, and they become extremely prominent because now your mind is connecting the two.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so he might not have been seeing exactly Angel Sr. He saw Angel Sr. and Jr. kind of starting to blend and twist into each other with fading senses and stuff that.
Yeah.
And so, yes, it's a quote unquote mislead because he saw Angel, but no, it's not a mislead because he saw Angel's blood.
Yeah. And it goes with Vincent too, whether Vincent is a sibling or a half sibling. There's resemblance there,
Maybe.
Yeah, there's a Tenudo resemblance there.
My money's still on Senior, but yeah.
Oh, that's always been my thing.
Yeah. And we know that like their blood is gonna, like, their physical features are gonna carry well because of people like what Scratch said. Like, sure, I don't know you. Like, they're already connecting that. And Scratch and him probably never met.
Yeah.
They might have. I'm just gonna say they never met. But she did probably meet the Angel of Death.
Yeah.
Or knows of him.
Yeah.
Or has seen pictures of it. Like,
well, he may not have been called Angel of Death at that point either. So.
I would be surprised almost, because I mean 20 plus years ago he was 20 years ago he was set to be the next patriarch
with the Angel of Death. Yeah.
Well, because it would have been around the time of the beginning of the infection,
and by the time,
because it was like a year and a half after, let's just say 2 years after, when
Oliver left the
colony. Became it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even if we stretch to say 5 years after, like, because they waited for so long during the infection.
So at that point, he would have that intense name behind him on his back, Angel Sr.
And that would be almost like a catapulting point, being like, yeah, he's earned this role. He's earned this title. He's earned the position. Where'd he go?
Yep.
Like, and they're just like, okay, well, we are not going to wait for someone who's probably dead in this world where people are dropping literally like flies.
It's true. All right, let's go to YouTube real quick.
All right.
Just real quick. Go ahead.
All right. You want me to pick a couple out then?
No, read everyone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My favorite one, I'll just say it. We know Nick's and Will's shoe size. Nick is size 12. Will is size 11.
This is you making that joke. I want their shoe size. And then Casey gave it to us.
Thank you, Casey.
Put it in my notes.
We got a couple comments from Casey about the
so good.
the betrayals. Gold Rush had a lot of betrayal. If you think what they told Carl versus what was going on with Muldoon.
Yeah,
That's true, actually.
He saw it as betrayal, same as Gloria's perspective of the soldiers.
Yes, yes.
He responded to me about us about not being able to find the house. He just said it's by the blue dot. I looked, still pretty hard. Might have to look again.
So good.
Dark Elite. I wondered that about Vincent too. I mean, he is a Chisholm, and he did know about the significance of the board on his ring. Plus, he was the one who introduced and explained the board to everyone else who was captured on the train. He did say a life for a life in front of her, but she didn't react.
Yeah.
So I just assumed he either knew or had a strong suspicion, but was never able to act on it like Mara because he didn't have any time alone with the boar. So that's a good thought.
Yeah. Or he could have just.
I feel like she would have tried to like get him.
Yeah.
Into a position if she would have thought of it.
Possibly.
And he might have. And he could have said it because he also did assume that it was someone of the family that was probably running it.
Yes.
And when she didn't react to it, he's probably like, "Oh well."
Yeah.
Yeah. Or in my head, I'm going with what you said, but it's more of a way that, hey, I know who you are, so here I'm gonna say it, so you know who I am.
Yeah.
But because
Kinda
it's
like
a
name
secret,
dropping.
yeah. But since it's a secret, she's not gonna react in front of everyone else. You know what I mean? Like we mutually understand this kind of thing. Yep.
Yeah.
Casey stated he hates trees since having to climb that one in the arena.
Yep. We said that.
Yep.
Zach's house is a modified idea of the Wrigley house. I remember him stating that when we were doing Scouts on it.
Yeah.
The botanical gardens exist, and the dance hall is the casino. All that exists.
Oh, gotcha. Got it.
Omri L. Mays 958 said assassination of Michael was shown twice in the first season, both from the point of Michael and the point of the view from the attacker. If you listen carefully, grunts of the attacker. He's not an old person. Also more of the side thing, but in the snow area, Vincent's reaction to Nick saving him was a bit more focused on. Also, we know some things about Michael as well. I'm not sure what you were getting on that, but
Angel Sr.
Yeah,
And then
well, some of that I get. He was saying that he doesn't think it's Angel Sr, but then the second part of that I didn't follow.
In the arena.
What's funny is I responded with I'm 98% on the Vincent boat. I never re-comment and state I'm 98% on the Vincent or the Angel Sr boat. But I can't.
Should I take it back?
I can't comment that right now. I have to wait to comment that. Let's see here. Casey, watching the reacts, so fun.
Yes. Thank you.
They didn't see him up close, just saying, and
Yes,
it's been
there you
like
go.
17 years.
That's the one. Yep. He's talking about Riley. When she saw all the pictures and the videos of them, and if it was if Vincent looks like Angel, and that's what he's saying. It's been 17 years. Yeah. They didn't see him up close.
So this did confirm something that we were discussing. He said, yeah, the other houses physically exist still, but are unoccupied. So all of the houses, family houses, are still there. They just aren't occupied due to the infection, is what it sounds like.
Yep, that makes sense.
That's kind of what I thought.
Yeah. I'm the one.
Yeah,
who's pushing...
they don't talk. They never talk. I feel like they would have mentioned more about ruins.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'm the one who's
Stuff like
pushing
that,
that,
but
they don't exist anymore. So he answered that for sure.
Yeah. I just feel like they're
just abandoned.
Done. They're just done. They're just buildings now.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're probably still theirs. They just don't occupy them because they've kind of consolidated.
That's what I mean. They're just buildings now. They're just there.
Right.
So Scout's betrayal, Pierce hiding his wound and what he did to Carmen.
Yep.
Those are big betrayals.
Yep.
At Wakka, put it back. The map isn't exact. That was me sort of timing it out. That was from Casey again.
Yep.
And then Omri again stated, "Oh my gosh, that caught me off guard. I could never have thought about it that way." I straight out laughed for a while on this one.
Yeah.
At least a bit of new cultural info was gained.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we're here to educate. Happy we could do that.
Yeah. But you know what he's talking about?
Yeah, that was Wakka's statement about if.
Oh yeah.
We're not going to go down that road again.
Yeah, no, never mind. No.
And then
so good though.
it was so funny. So just out of the blue. Oh my gosh.
Where that word came from.
So Omri,
that was the intro of the episode.
Omri L Mays 9558 said also I'm no longer picking out favorite episode chapters anymore, as each one after the previous just destroys my expectations myself. It was good to listen to you guys. See you in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Good
I
to
agree.
read your
It's
comments.
getting harder and harder to pick a favorite episode.
Yes.
Especially in this, because Story of Survival all built on itself, but this one's building off of all the other stories.
Different directions.
Yeah. And it's finishing it, you know?
And so because it's building off of the different stories, it's not building in a linear order anymore.
Yeah.
Like a lot of it, like we're just getting, I mean, Angel Tenudo showing up just built off of like season 1 or 2 of Story of Survival.
Yeah.
While everything that had been happening fresh in the thing, it was taking points out of Story of Survival, like Durai, aka Fingers, and stuff like that. Like it was pulling little pieces out, but it was still Descendants. Now he's showing up, and we're like, oh, like now we're jumping back, 14 years or whatever, to get some lore added in back there, which is adding new context into certain things that happened, and it's like. We're finding about things that happened before the turning point of the infection and stuff like that. So now it's just things are being built too out of order.
Yeah.
To finish an overall picture.
Yeah.
So I 100% agree. No longer picking like favorite chapters and episodes. It's just getting too hard.
Yeah.
I might be able to say like moments that I'm really liking, but some of those moments are getting overwritten so quickly.
Yeah.
Because
oh my gosh,
something random happening that's like, oh my gosh, these 50 things that I've known for the last nearly 2 decades are all different.
Right.
Like it just changed this one subtlety so much.
Yeah.
It changed like literally the last 2 episodes have just changed my thoughts on Angel when he was kind of trying to power trip and failing with Saul and Michael.
Yeah, it's making sense.
Like, yeah, his personality and his dad being the guy basically it's all changing.
Yeah.
He's not just some spoiled rich kid with underworld background. No, now he's literally essentially the son of the Sultan of the underground, and he said no see ya. maybe said see ya, because he might also have been going into the military, raising up to still be part of the family, to fulfill a role in the family. Like there's just so many things that have been added that it's like everything that I thought I knew has potentially been changed. I do think that he was actually just walking away from the family and stuff, but it's like the way that they've introduced the family in such force, it's like, what if Angel was just trying to become, a high up member of the military for the family? To be that quote unquote spy role.
But
that's why he went to officer school and stuff like that. Like,
but were the
again, I don't think that's the way it is, but it's like that possibility exists now.
Weren't the Amsels the political ones, not the Chisholms?
It's I think
yes.
Oh, I thought it was the Chisholms.
No, the Chisholms.
You're right.
The Chisholms were the ones who did all the dirty work, so it's probably not likely that he went the Amsel route.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think that's the way it is, but it's like, well, what if a different family member did it because they wanted a certain expertise in there?
Yeah.
It just opens low potential, but other potentials that we never thought about.
Right.
You know, before 6 weeks ago, I never would have 1.1% thought like Angel was using his family training for XYZ.
Yeah.
But now, again, now it's a 0.1% chance that I think that, or I think that it could be that, but now it's just something has changed. Something that has been so cemented in my head for 11 years?
You're right.
Almost 12? Like,
it is, definitely is. Like, I remember when we were all shocked, not including Jay, because it didn't give Jay huge impact when Fingers said her last name, or first name, or her real name, and then we thought that was like the highest, and then Angel Sr. showed up. Nope, that topped it off. You know,
it's just been moment after moment.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
been
Frick,
good.
stop.
That's a lot.
They're dropping big names so casually now.
Yeah. Because even
Like,
with
don't get me wrong, they're making a point out of all of them, but they're happening so frequently now that it's just stirring up confusion. Like, what is going on? What is actually happening right now?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just Jirai. Oh,
Yeah.
Claire.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Angel Sr. Oh, whatever the dude's name that's in charge of Republic. Like, it's just name after name is being dropped.
Right.
For all these big people, big positions, it's like shell shock.
so much answers, but that answers comes with more questions.
Yeah.
it's not helping. It's not helping. None of them is helping. All right. Cool.
That was the last of the comments.
I know. I'm so glad we have episode next week.
Yeah.
This is
It'll
gonna
be
cool.
good.
This is gonna be good.
It'll be good.
Yeah. All right.
So if you like it, comment, subscribe.
Yes. And please
Say hi.
comment because we will read them for sure. We will read them. It doesn't matter how ridiculous they are.
Every single one.
Yeah. Well, I'll take it back.
There's a few that we didn't read.
There's most of them. There's some of them that are like, yeah.
We might not read all of them on air, but we do read them.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, we do read them all.
And we
That's what I
appreciate
will
them.
see.
Yeah, so please comment wherever that may be. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I hope you guys appreciate this. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye, son.
Bye.